Could you just talk, obviously you still got some recruiting to do, but how much better do you feel about your roster stability now than maybe you did 4 or 5 weeks ago?
Well, I think we're excited about the incoming players, but also as we've been around and have gotten to know our returning players, we're excited in the fact that they've got us excited that they're looking forward to getting going here. We know we're going to get back at it here 1st of June, and so there's no question with adding some height, but we're going to need everybody. We know that, and we know that we're getting close to having the roster that we plan on going with, and so time to get down to work.
Rick, I think anybody growing up in Hickory, North Carolina probably knows a little bit about NASCAR, don't they?
Well, I do. You know, it really, when I pulled in here and saw pictures of Waltrip and Pearson and Yarborough, and then I saw Marty Robbins up there on the inside, all that. I mean, I've always wanted to be here, and I will tell you, when we turned the corner and I saw it, I was blown away. I knew it was big, but I had no idea what it was really about, and so yeah, I grew up, I feel like, watching it all, and so it's great to actually, this is something I've always wanted to do, be here. And the only problem is I was hoping to have a car that I could do this. And I don't need a driving school or any of it. I can do this because I drove back across the mountains last night from Asheville. That's like being at Riverside, you know, so I can do this.
Coach, what was your reaction, I guess, to the proposed rule changes, basically the 30-second?
Great. I think that's a good rule. I think the restricted area, I do think the lane should be widened to the NBA lane line. I still think they should move back to the three-point line to the international three-point line. I know taking away a timeout, that doesn't bother you so much, because I can assure you that TB is going to still get their timeouts some way, somehow. I would have loved to see them let us keep that timeout late in the games and be able to call a timeout, not come to the bench, but advance the ball to half court in a late game situation. But overall, I think for the game to get back to what everybody wants it to be, one, players have to improve in terms of shooting. I mean, no rule change is going to affect that part of it. Players, we're going to have to all get better at that. But I think officiating is a big part of it. I think that officiating, the new hire with the national officiating and trying to bring everything under one umbrella is the way that it has to be done. But the game's going to have, the rules have to be called. It's just plain and simple. Whatever the rules are, call the rules of the game, and I think that in itself will change a lot in terms of the way the game's being played right now.
Rick, you talked a lot about the shot clock going to 30 seconds, almost like you expected it to. Do you have to change how you, I guess, coach your offense or how you want to run your offense?
No, I think, everybody starts speculating that, teams are going to play more zone, that there's going to be more bad shots at the end of the shot clock. We've always practiced with an 18-second shot clock at times, and then we've even practiced with a 10-second shot clock. We practiced with a 24-second shot clock. Because we don't want to get deep into the clock. We want to get up and down. We want opportunities, but oftentimes, obviously, I mean, the other, I've coached teams too where we held the ball, where we made sure the other team didn't get as many possessions as they wanted. So coaches are going to still have their way with it, but how much it's going to change the way coaches play, I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Probably people that can answer that better are the coaches that just used it in the NIT. When that was, and I don't know if the point differential was that much, but I still think it gets back to as coaches, we've got to understand people want a wide open game, and you really look at it. Almost every sport has helped the offense some way, somehow, to get people excited. In college basketball, I'm not sure we've done enough of that to make it where. And again, I think it goes back. Officiating is very important to what our game, where it is, and what it's going to become.
Coach Jones just addressed kind of higher expectations for the football program. Obviously, you have your own personal ones, and fans do have some. But is it just invigorating to come in, and be in your honeymoon period right now, and be the new coach in town to get that opportunity to kind of start fresh here?
Well, I'm 60 years old, so I don't know if I'd say I've even thought about a honeymoon or expectations from anybody else, because I've never believed in that. I believe that when you go into a new program, a new situation, that you can't think in terms of rebuilding, and the fans can have their expectations. And I've often said that fans' expectations will never exceed the coaching staff and the players. I don't care what anybody says. I don't know of any coach in any team that when they line up to play football, basketball, baseball, whatever, that they don't believe that they can win that game. I don't think I've ever coached a team that we lined up against teams that were supposedly better that we said, well, we're going to lose tonight. I don't believe that. And if I thought that, I don't think I could do this. But the fact is, expectations are great. And people say, you know, when you have great expectations, it leads to disappointments. One thing we know about sports, you don't always get what you want when you want it. But the fact is, you get up every day chasing what you want. And at the University of Tennessee, University of Texas, you name it, there's one thing that we all want, and that's that national championship. And again, every year you have to, you know, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. And so every day you got to get up knowing that you've got to get better. You've got to make yesterday better than today, and you've got to get a group of guys that want to buy into that. But regardless of what people might pick us, put us, we're gonna go at it, and with the idea that every time we go out, we think we've got a chance to win.
Could you recap how you established that recruiting pipeline into Canada?
Well, I mean, recruiting is so much based on your relationships. People use the word contacts. I think it's more relationships. And again, I have to give credit to our coaches. You know, Rob Lanier spent a lot of time up there. He's from Buffalo, and whether it's Des Oliver or Chris Ogden, those guys have been at it. They understand that recruiting is the lifeblood of any program in any sport. So with that said, you don't ever stop recruiting. Even right now, you know, we say, well, we're done for this year. You're never done. And that, I think, one is a real compliment to our coaches that we were able to, they knew where some players that we had kept our eye on, and you always do that. And once we were hired here, we knew that we wanted to go after these guys. And again, the assistants did a great job. We got them on campus during the orange and white spring game, and the football program, really what Butch has done and his staff, and Holly Orlick, her staff, Dave Hart. I mean, once they got here and they told us they loved it, and that's where it all comes together. I mean, but we're going to go anywhere and everywhere to recruit. We have had success in Canada, and we'll continue to go up there because I think one, they're doing a great job with their grassroots program up there, and so we've had success, and we'll continue to go there, and hopefully we can continue to recruit hard.
Could you give us a quick comment on the two guys from Canada this spring?
Well, one of them, obviously, Ray Kasanga, was a player that a year ago visited a lot of schools. You know, he took visits to Kansas, Oregon, actually signed with Oregon, and it didn't work out there from an academic standpoint, so he went to a junior college for a year. He's got 3 years left. A player that we had identified even while we were at Texas, that we knew that with the front line we were graduating there, that we knew we'd love to have him as a part of our program. And then Kyle Alexander, again, Coach Lanier had been recruiting him with the idea that he might come to Texas in redshirt. But once we got here, the redshirt thing went out the window. And Kyle's been playing 2 years. He's got a sister that plays in the WNBA. His dad played Division I basketball. His mom's a very strong lady. And so once you met the family and you look at his hands, his quickness, you're excited about it because you realize he's only been playing 2 years, but some of the things that he does, we can't coach. It's hard to coach great hands, and he has that, is the way he can run. He's been a soccer player, which I think is a great thing. So we're excited about both of those guys, and obviously the previous staff had signed 2 perimeter players that we're excited about as well.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you all. Thanks for being here.